Welcome to Messages from Heaven. I am Rebecca Anne LoCicero, and I am your local psychic medium from the Connecticut area. And today I am coming to you to talk more about the psychic realm of things and the mediumship realm of things. So how this show wound up here on television, I'm going to give you a quick little rundown. I decided one day, after we've been through all of our, job changes and pandemic situations, and I decided that I wanted to educate people a little bit more on what it means to be a psychic, or what it means to be an intuitive, what it means to be a medium, and this whole new age metaphysical type of conversation. And I felt that every time I dove into something or in with someone to try to present this kind of information, it would turn into a debate. So if I was talking to another medium, it would turn into what we do, what they do, all of this information. And I thought to myself, well, the best way to show somebody or to talk to somebody and share it with you all would be to have guests who could participate in the conversation with me. And through that, I could share what it's like to bring up psychic information naturally, or to bring in mediumship information naturally. And in that, also to explain to you guys exactly what that means. So today, on this episode, I have 3 guests with me. So my first guest is Nancy. Hello.
Hello.
And then I have Kelly. And I don't know Kelly very well, but I know, actually at all, but I do know Nancy. And Jennifer.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
Which we may have crossed paths here or there.
Definitely.
And in this, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the difference between psychics and mediums. So my first question would be, I think, not just from conversation and just talking to you a little bit, but Jennifer, you must do this for work. You must understand in some way that there's already an avenue or a job in your realm, right? You must work with spirit in some way.
Of course.
And from what I understand from you, Kelly, you are here because you are a volunteer, a participant here at the television station at CVC. Correct. And thank you so much. We need people like you. But in my understanding, and from what I have heard, because I'm honest and want to always be as ethical as possible, that you have a little connection to the elements as well. And we're going to talk about that. Okay. And now I know you have multiple jobs. I know that you are a local here, and I'm going to let you explain that. But I also know you because we dove into your establishment where you had visitors. Mm-hmm. So we can have a lot to talk about that too, and how that came into play with me. But I want to start with asking you, can you tell me what your definition of psychic versus mediumship is?
Oh, okay. Let's see. So between psychic and mediumship, for my understanding of the two, if I were to separate the two, mm-hmm. My experience with psychic would be receiving messages that are from the world around me, versus mediumship where it's coming from a specific source.
Gotcha.
That would be my understanding on how I've received information and
I love
contact.
that. So psychic is what's here.
Yeah, because
and mediumship connects out there.
Yeah,
that's an awesome perspective.
Yeah, because for me, time is circular. Mm-hmm. So when I've had psychic encounters or abilities, it's almost like what I connect with deja vu, where it's like this. I already knew the information, mm-hmm. but I'm not exactly sure why.
Gotcha.
But it's
so you're around this. You get this. You understand that this is the kind of this kind of stuff happens on a day-to-day.
Well, for me,
so it does for me too. So because I don't know who you are and I get to relate conversation with you, it's kind of like, one of my people, right? But it also makes it kind of exciting for me because as we talk, when I do have conversations, which is why I say sometimes it's hard to make friends, And I consider you a friend, you know, because sometimes you tend to know too much about somebody, and you have to kind of step back and go, wait a minute, did I get that because I know you? Did you tell me? But for me, I don't know you. I don't know your people. So I can get messages from heaven for you. So I'm very excited while we're talking to be able to connect with you, and that's okay with you.
Yeah, I'm definitely open. I'm here to be of service.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
That does help. That does. Kelly, you were telling me ahead of time you need to break before I can read in you. Tell me what you were saying, because that's kind of a cool thing.
So I've had a lot of people in my life who draw off of my energy. So I learned how to do shielding, to shield my energy from what I call energy vampires. And those are the people that you don't necessarily have anything that resonates one to another, but they just kind of latch on you and suck that energy. And when you come away from being or interacting with them, you are so drained and you're like, why am I so tired? All I did was have a 10-minute conversation. It's because I didn't protect my energy. So I put this bubble around myself to save me the trouble of picking and choosing who I give my energy to.
Gotcha. And for me, if I'm going to read, because I don't have control of spirit. Spirit's got free will. They'll come in when they're ready to come in. But to be able to do that, do you feel like that's something you need to open up? Do you think I will drain that in a way? That it would be part of a drain? Because I know I get drained after I read, but I kind of feel like I want to zoop you up more than that. But I could see if somebody was, maybe, looking to hear from their loved ones from you, or to get some kind of energy message or information from you, it would be draining.
Right.
I understand.
I don't think that you would drain me, but at this point it's second nature to shield. And because I have encountered spirits and people who have passed on and are inhabiting spaces, it became second nature to put myself in the bubble to save that energy drain.
So that, in a sense, leads to, part of what I talk about too is that mediumship for me, in alignment with you, mediumship for me is you, me, and them. It's them. I'm the middle. I'm the messenger. I'm the one that's going to come through and bring you the validation from the other side. So for me, their job, is to make sure you understand what I'm saying. So it kind of takes the pressure off of me. You have no end result in that at all. But you saying being in places where you have to protect yourself leads me to you. So talk about where you are from.
So I have a restaurant that definitely has spirit in there, but I mean, yeah.
And I have to say yes, because I have been there.
Lots of things have happened there. Things have flown off tables, toilets flushed by themselves, doors open by themselves. But they are good people. They are not there to harm. They are just there to protect.
Yeah. And I believe that some of who's there is also your people.
I believe that.
And it's almost as if you went and you opened this restaurant and you brought your family into it, and then here comes your loved ones going, oh, this is cool, and they're
there.
Throwing stuff around.
Right.
I do think that it's possible the previous owner might be coming in there once in a while too.
Yeah.
So, but when it comes to hauntings and things like that, and I'll use that word flat out, that doesn't bother me at all. I think about it this way. I'm like, who are you going to haunt when you're gone? Like when I'm gone, I'm going to haunt everybody. I'm going to come to everybody and be like, boo. That would be a lot of fun. Like, we don't have to tell people that, but it'll happen. So, but being in this line of work makes me a little morbid, but I connected with you in a roundabout way.
Way before that.
Yeah.
So way before. So my grandmother had passed away, and I was talking to a mutual friend of ours that is producing.
Marion Porter.
Right.
Our
I was
producer.
a dental hygienist. I'm cleaning her teeth, and she says, oh my gosh, you have to go to Messages from Heaven. And I went to Messages from Heaven that week, and and the next week, and the next week, until finally, I was able to get
exactly what you needed to get.
Exactly what I needed to get.
The messages.
Exactly.
So Messages from Heaven that you're talking about, that is a gallery presentation that I used to do when I had my office in town. And And so when that closed, that was part of the reason why this exploded like this, because it was so hard for me to still get the messages across that I needed to get across, and then yet kind of come back into this bubble. So as I'm sitting here, and I feel like you guys can probably feel it too, but maybe I'm wrong, but the energy just shifted.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm listening to you, but I'm watching next to you, and I feel like I'm bringing through two males that are connected to you. Do you understand this? Mm-hmm. Okay. Is one of these males younger?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other one, maybe not dad, but a granddad?
Okay.
Does that make sense? So do we have a dad and a granddad? Both crossed?
Yeah.
So to me, you are young, and your dad is coming through telling me he's young.
Okay.
I don't know how young you are, but I'm just gonna say he's coming through very energetic. He's coming through a little bit full of life, and I'm gonna be really kind of blunt. He's coming through a little bit full of you know what? So I can say those words on television, but I'm not going to. I am going to say that what wound up happening was, as soon as you said my grandmother, something around me went, tell her I love her. And I went, okay. He goes, but you can't tell her I love her yet. You got to tell her who it is first. And I said, okay, so maybe your dad wasn't a huge I love you guy. Does that make sense to you?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Good,
it would only
great.
be like, birthday cards.
Yeah, but not
Type,
like every day.
yeah.
I'm gonna be like, oh, I love you. Oh, have a good day. I
Yeah.
love you. Yeah, it doesn't feel like that. Okay, birthday card's fine.
Yeah.
So I think he's traveling with his dad.
Okay.
And to me, there's a couple of names and pieces of information. Okay, so I find this fun, only because I think that your dad is also with his mom. Do you understand
Yep.
this? Now, I'm saying I think this is fun because she came in and she just made it fun.
Okay.
Where did the tulips come in? You're wearing roses. I want it to be rose in honor of her, but she says, I like tulips.
Tulips.
So is she swapping this on you?
It's possible.
Do flowers have a connection for you? Okay, so here's what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I said tulips, you said, that's me, right? So somewhere in your head, or in your facial reaction, I don't know, because I was more looking at you, it was like, tulips are mine. And I went, okay, I can give you the tulips. However, for me, now we have multiple people in the room. So for me, I feel as if, okay, so then, and to add to this, I feel you are stepping in as well. So that's kind of fun. Let's just bring them all in. Is this a mom for you that you've crossed, that's crossed? Did you lose a mom? No. Okay. You didn't lose a mom? No. Okay. I'm going to say this then. It's not yours.
No.
Okay, good. I'm going to say it again. It may not be a mom, but I'm going to say feels like a mom to me. It feels like a mother figure. If it's not a mom, if I have to call that a grandmother or a godmother, I will, but I do feel like it's a mother figure that's next to you, and that's where the tulips come in. I have a fascinating connection to tulips. I stood in Holland in a tulip field in season. And I'll never, you can't get rid of the wave of flowers. This woman is showing me the same thing. Do you understand this? That she sees waves of flowers. It may not be Holland, but it feels like it's waves of flowers. So do you understand this for her? Mm-hmm. Okay. And can I use, okay, so, and for your dad, for his dad, were they close to you, those grandparents?
Not his dad.
But his mom?
His mom
She's
I was
fun.
close with.
Fun.
Yeah.
Where would the D, okay, D doesn't stand for dad, M doesn't stand for mom, S doesn't stand for psychic. Sister, just kidding. This does stand for psychic. When all of them come through like that, it's almost like I have to step back and take a deep breath and go, okay, let's organize this. And I get excited because you all felt it at the same time. Is John the one who's connected to you? Okay, so I'm just gonna write John really quick. And then do you understand the month of August coming through as a connection too? I'm just gonna say. So let me say this. When I connect, there's a couple of things. Yes and no is so important. but we're on TV, so more than just yes or no, sometimes it's helpful. Because even though I don't need to know the background story, they do. So at some point in time, I'm going to have to ask you why it's tulips, but not yet.
Okay.
And while there's all of you here, the names come through and I write things down. Names could be, for me, as far as I'm concerned, the names of people who are living, as well as the names of people who have crossed. I don't see any reason, like I know your name is Kelly, I'm not gonna, right? But I do expect them to sometimes say hi to the people who are still here. So if I give you a name, know that it may be connected to that. Your dad is gorgeous, and this is what he tells me. And he says that you are absolutely gorgeous as well, and this is what he tells me. He shows me the month of December. Do you understand the month of December for him?
Yes.
So for me, dates would be birth dates, death dates, or anniversaries. We don't have death dates, okay? Don't, unless you're having dreams, but you know, don't tell me about that. But you know, other humans shouldn't be able to tell you when, how, or what. We have miracles, don't give those away. Your dad tells me that he was sick, but he tells me that he was sick and that there was nothing that he could do or anybody could do for him. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And he doesn't tell me what he had, but he does tell me there was treatment. Do you understand that? So he says you do?
Yes.
Oh, so he tells me that he went through all the treatment, but it still didn't work.
Yes.
Does that make sense? I could guess, but I don't want to guess because he's actually not telling me. So can you validate for me there were 2 things that he was sick with?
Yes.
Or were they 2 cancers?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
He wouldn't tell me until I said 2.
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay. He goes, because I didn't die of cancer. I died because I had 2 cancers. Okay, the letter D. Dave, Don, D. He said, he shows me the letter D as a connection.
Okay.
Do you have a brother?
Yes.
Is this the D?
No.
Oh. I don't know where that comes in or why I feel that.
Okay.
I wish I could get more of a name to it. I feel like it might be male.
Okay.
It's not him. He's not a D name.
No.
Okay. I'm just going to say that. If that doesn't make sense, that's fine. I'm going to write it down.
Yeah.
But I do feel like he's either trying to say hello or he's trying to bring somebody up.
Okay.
By mentioning that.
Okay.
I don't feel like it's somebody crossed. I feel like the D is somebody here.
Okay.
Does that make
Yes.
more sense? So who would that connect with?
The only name that I would think is Danny.
Danny. So a male name.
Yeah, that's a male name.
Is this like a best friend?
A friend of the family, yeah.
Fine. So do you understand why
Yeah.
he would bring this person up?
Maybe.
No, maybe
to
doesn't,
check in on, maybe to check in on them, but nothing, for me, nothing's, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Your dad says one more ride for me. One more ride. So did we go cruising for him?
Kayaking.
Kayaking.
Yep.
And did you go on his path?
Yep.
Because he says to me, can we go on one more ride?
Okay.
Did you spread ashes?
Not yet.
Is this where you're planning on spreading ashes?
It could be now. I
Don't
mean,
do it because I said so.
No,
I'm just a Rebecca medium here. You know, you
No.
do you.
Well, I mean, I also want.
But he wants,
yeah.
is this his
See,
path?
that's the thing. Yeah.
And then why does he say that, watch out, he says specifically, watch out for the turtles.
Okay.
So you're saying kayaking.
Yeah.
You're not going to catch me in water. So.
It's specifically the Everglades.
So it's not around here.
No.
It's something about turtles there.
Yep.
So his path for you to kayak and spread his ashes is in the Everglades. So there's an adventure for
Yeah.
you. Like that gives me goosebumps. That makes me
pretty
feel
cool.
super. Can you feel that?
That was cool.
Is the grandfather like a papa?
Yeah. Well,
That's it.
Yeah.
Just a papa.
Yeah.
That's what I hear. The grandmother to me, she talks about blue skies. Just
Okay.
blue skies. That's all I can see is beautiful. She's resting in peace, I guess. That would be like her expression. She says to me that when you look directly into the sun, the guides that are in the center of your sun is where she is.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. Do you?
I
Sun gods?
Sure.
Moon gods,
well,
sun gods,
100%.
whatever god you want. She
Yeah,
says,
that's where
I'm
she
in the
is.
center of the sun.
Okay.
So there must be something about the sunshine with her. I mean,
Okay.
it could be just, You Are My Sunshine, the song,
Okay.
or the pillow, or I know, I can feel it creeping on your end. Where does the P sound come in? Paul or Patrick or?
Paul was his father.
Paul was his father.
Yeah.
I think that's the pop that I'm hearing.
Yeah.
You are fun. Don't go anywhere. I'm not necessarily done completely, but you read. So I'm emotional for you because I read and you read and just got read. And your dad's like super fun. He's like a yay dude kind of a guy, right? Is 9/9 connected to him?
9/9.
September.
September 9th.
Or a 9/9.
I'm not sure right now.
Okay. Make me want to cry. You know what the space is. He says he knows where that space is, and that's where you guys meet. So it's a good space.
Okay.
He says, I don't go as high up as the sun is mom. He's like, like he kind of throws it to the side. So it's cute.
Yeah.
And it's I love you, but it's definitely like with a heart. So if he's signing the cards, he's not even signing the word love. It's I heart you, right? Okay. You didn't like tattoo that or anything, did you?
No.
Okay. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's like, it's still not that, Rebecca.
Do you know what's really funny is that's one of my tattoos that's been in my mind since he passed was his signature on my cards.
Which is the I heart.
Yeah.
You don't have to go and do that. I love
No,
tattoos.
it's
I'm
just,
an ink girl.
It's just validation and confirmation.
Good.
So.
Good. That's what I want. I want it to be totally random like that, and I want you to feel it like that. And it's cool when people get to see it, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they tell me that it's cool that you get to see it.
Well, the turtles, we went and released a turtle together. So look out for the turtles. Like, I mean, come on.
What did you do?
There was a spot that we used to always kayak, and I had a turtle, and he got massive. So I know you're not supposed to release turtles, but we would bring him for months, and we'd bring him with us to the place where we went, and then we released him together. So, and then we go and visit him.
That is just so cool. I feel so good when I get to bring that message through. It's like I give you that little bit of validation that goes, okay, he's there, he's real, it's good, we're okay, validation, okay. I get to feel heaven. I get to feel that like, I don't want to call it a thank you, but I get to feel that vibration of soul for someone. And that is, I don't know, it's out of this world. It's an unbelievable feeling. So thank you so much for letting me share that with you. Okay, what'd you think?
It's pretty awesome.
Poor girl. Sometimes I worry I break people. I'm like, did I break you?
No, I have a good relationship with death and spirit, so.
Not everybody does.
I know.
So,
I am grateful for where I am with that.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we see you out and about in the New Age community is what you're saying.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So for me then, the euphoria or the vibration of us just talking, like that was done. Okay, bye. But it's not that they leave. It's almost like your dad and your grandfather just take a seat somewhere else to watch the rest of it, and they still hang out with us. It's because we've mentioned them and we've brought them up that they're here, but they're here also and came through because there was purpose of you being here. I love it. I don't always understand all of it. But what I find interesting too is that Spirit will take the information that is messages that get layered. So as I'm talking to her, something for you kind of comes in because it's vibration. In other words, this must be a grandmother to you. Did we have a grandmother or a godmother that was like a mom?
I've had a number of women, positive women figures in my life.
Okay. Was there one that we could call by name that would be like a Marion?
Yep.
Thank you.
She passed recently.
You don't have to tell me, I'm going to tell you. We call that feeding the medium.
Yep.
Yep. And you know what's even funnier? I think you know that rule more than anybody else, but it just comes right out, doesn't it? I, as a medium, with all the don't feed the medium rules, I'm the worst. So basically what happens with me, and one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show in particular, was because a lot of people who claim to be a medium will have conversations. You'll say something, and then 5 minutes later, they're spitting it right back out at you. And I'm sitting there with them, they're like, oh, how did they know that? I'm like, they know it because you just said it. So for me, for this show in particular, my intention, unless there's some sort of, catastrophe or issue, is to film straight through. I mean, there's no editing. So if we want to get cute on camera, right? So, but there's no pause or in between. The reason I get is it Marion? Is it like Marianne? Marion. And I almost didn't say that because, again, my producer is Marion. So I'm sitting here going, do I say the same name? This sounds almost rehearsed for me to say her name. But she says, you've been thinking about her. She also says blue, like this, blue butterflies. She goes, there's your sign. Can you tell me if that makes sense to you? Yes and no right now would be okay, but she's using butterflies as a sign, or at least the color blue as a sign. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And she's a toughie. Like I'm a toughie, like you're a tough, like she's a tough chick. Mm-hmm. She's not gonna let anything sway this hello. I cannot believe that she picks this moment to say hi. She may have crossed recently, you said, right? She crossed recently, okay. So within a year? Mm-hmm. Okay. So to me, again, she shows me what she would say, I had 2 weeks of goodbyes. Do you understand this? Mm-hmm. She loves that she had 2 weeks of goodbyes. And can you tell me where I do? Is she the tulip connection?
Tulip's my favorite flower, so that may be.
Just to connect with you and to align with you and see the tulips. Okay, mm-hmm. That would make sense if tulip's your favorite flower. That's not everybody's. And for me, they literally put me in the field to be able to say it to you. So I honor that your higher self or your loved ones or your angels, if nothing else, right? I want to bring that to you. Where does February come in for you?
That's my birth month.
Your birth month. Okay, so I'm going to say that I feel like Marion is giving me validation with the tulips and with your birth month, just to give me validation that I'm talking to the right person. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't feel psychic. It feels like it's coming from her. Although getting February could be a psychic thing also. Do you know what I mean? That could be just like she said, just what's around you, right? Mm-hmm. But she's calling it out. So is it something as common as she gave you tulips for your birthday?
She would always remember my birthday.
Okay. And did she cross after your birthday this year? Mm-hmm. Okay, so to me, she's trying to talk about your birthday and tulips and and that's it. So she also points out to me that I feel like she's happy. Has she joined a husband? Mm-hmm. So she tells me her life here was done. She feels like her life has now begun because she's with her husband. Oh. That makes me happy for them. I feel like she's going, oh yeah, Kelly knew. He was waiting for me. She knows he was waiting for me. Mm-hmm. She's very cute. Do you understand? Like she's very kind. She's very kind, she's very sweet. And did she wear a lot of, I'll say colors to start with. Did she wear a lot of color?
She did.
Okay. And did she wear a lot of costume color, like costume jewelry color? Mm-hmm. she's trying to show me sparkle.
She brought a lot of dazzle to the spaces she was inhabiting.
Okay. Dazzle. Like a lot of, like sparkle, dazzle. Whatever it is, she's lighting up the room. Well, now she's lighting up heaven because she's doing her thing. And do you have daughters?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a daughter in spirit? Or we have a daughter here?
I never had any physical children, but I have adopted children.
You have adopted. I love adopted children. So you have daughters here, and these are your daughters that you adopted.
Yes.
That makes me very happy. So do you have other children other than, did you adopt boys too, or just the two girls?
We have one son.
Okay. I'm being told by this woman, Marion, about the beautiful daughters, that you have beautiful daughters. Now, I'm adopted, so I'm right there with you, and I honor every step that you've taken to have your beautiful daughters, and we claim them that way. So that is totally fine. And I love that Marion seems to think that that's like something she's watching over too, just so you know. I don't know if she's just partial to girls or what. I think she loves you and your whole family. She's not leaving anyone out. The last thing that I feel from her that I need you to know that she's saying is, I feel like she's showing me the month of March. Do you understand that? And if it's no, that's okay. She also tells me I died young. And she wants you to know that. I personally don't think she was that young. I think she got up in years and it was time for her, like it was like nobody's surprised that she crossed, right? I mean, maybe like, not that they didn't want her, like we don't want them to, but she was older, so it was like expected, right? But she says, if you were to look at me, I look fantabulous. So she talks about like having, I don't know, did she dye her hair blonde till the day she died or something? Because it just feels like she is younger than she is.
I don't think, she wasn't drying her hair towards the end there, but I think that she just imagined her hair was the color of whatever she wanted it to be.
I mean,
and that's what she saw.
And that's what she saw. Well, her coming through to me, she feels like she's got this big head of Dolly Parton blonde hair. That's all I can tell you. And I don't say anything for a coincidence. So if I'm talking about Dolly Parton or country music or something like that, you take that as a sign as well. Okay. All right. That was fun. Did she have a brain? It's not yours. It's hers. I can feel when things shift funny. Did you feel it? Oh, that's kind of cool. It's like it shuts. And I tell people too, sometimes when I'm reading, it's like, well, my intention is to read you next, and you're sitting here like you want to be read next. I want to be read too.
Sure.
Yeah. But I sit here and I go, okay, so where did it go? So almost for a split second in between reading, I get like an empty space, and I wonder, oh, did I do enough? Like, did I miss something? Or where did it go that it layered over here? And that would be my connection. Did March connect with you? Somebody's talking about girls, somebody's talking about blowing bubbles. So I literally went in a couple of different directions. Does that make sense? Are there little kids around?
No.
All right, so I'm gonna say this. I think she's talking about a younger female, like a little girl child.
Could be, and that would associate with March as well.
That would.
Yes.
And here, somebody here,
Somebody
a little
here.
girl here.
Right, and
okay,
that person has little children.
with March.
She's March.
Okay, and she's crossed.
No.
Okay.
No, the one that's here is March with the little children.
And would you understand why it's getting brought up? Is it family?
Yeah.
Is it connected to where I feel John?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So John's watching over this little girl.
Yeah.
There must be one special, I mean, I'm not trying to like call it out and make it just one.
No, you're right.
I think there are other children, but there's this one angel. That's how it sounds to me. They're calling her like the angel. They are calling her the angel. Is John dad?
To the person in March. He's
March.
my stepdad.
Your stepdad.
Yes.
And so
And
he's
his
talking
da-
about
He's talking about his daughter.
his daughter who's March, who has little girls.
little boy and a little girl.
Oh, I'm so excited for them. For whatever it is, that little girl, I think, has a very special connection to her grandfather.
Okay.
Does that make, it would be her
does.
grandfather.
It's her grandfather.
Right. Oh, and he says we're celebrating. I'm looking up because he's really loud.
He can be.
It's almost like it's in a bell sound, and I have to take it in that sound to make sure that it comes directly to you and it doesn't slide over to you guys. He's very private. He's like, no. And I went, okay, I'll tell just her. It's almost like he says, well, you know who all of my favorites are. And it's just cute the way he says it. He talks about definitely being in your establishment and making sure that you know that he's there and saying hello. And then he tells me that there are a series of hawks in the sky from him. Do you understand that?
There were 4 hawks this morning in my front yard.
I'm
My
sorry.
husband said to me, what are all those hawks doing up there? Wow.
And that was this morning.
That was this morning.
I didn't call you till a couple hours ago to come here, so I didn't put those hawks there for you.
No. No, wow, that's incredible.
And that to me would be then your stepdad saying hi. That would be to me Dad, John, saying hi to you. And using hawks as a sign. Animal signs are huge. I love being able to say like it's the butterfly or it's the hawk or it's this or the, songs, but he doesn't always come through as hawks. He says just for this one.
Okay.
I love that.
That's incredible.
That was wonderful.
Because then I was driving on the highway, I saw the hawk again.
So it was just 5 of them
Yeah.
in one day.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, but the birds are out the door. If you can hear them going honky on us now. So I don't mind that at all. Wow, that's just super cool. All right, so here's my question. That's mediumship. Psychic would be something totally different. It gets very personal. Mediumship gets very intimate. I always feel very humbled and thankful, and I guess even hopeful would be a good word, because all of a sudden I get filled with grace because I'm like, oh, they came through to say hi. My job is done. And then I think I don't often get feedback. So now that I've read you and you've seen her reading, what do you guys think of this? Do you have anything you want to share before we close up the show? Do you want to, are you all just like, because I know what happens. Once we get done reading, it's like, oh, that's it, we're done, okay, bye. No, but what do you think? What's going through your mind? Because I even know, like, when I'm somewhere and I get read first and then other people are getting read after me, I kind of daydream. It's really hard to even pay attention sometimes because I've just shifted from talking to your stepdad to, hey, what'd you think? It's a lot for the human brain to comprehend. I do it all the time. But I wonder sometimes if it's too quick for you guys
Well,
when
you
you're
always want
the
more.
sitter.
Everybody
Yeah.
always wants more. But that's a gift in itself. So,
Yeah, it's never enough.
And it's validation. The hawks are validation that, that person is there, and it's not a coincidence. It's validation. I guess.
Yeah, I
that's
don't
how
believe in coincidences.
I don't believe in coincidences.
Good.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Lots of synchronicities.
Yes.
What about you? How are you feeling? Is that who you expected?
It's not. I had
It's
somebody else
not.
in mind, but that's okay. It was somebody from the same group of people. I've lost a lot of people in the
Okay.
last couple of years,
Okay.
so
So if you think about like that whole group of people and who you were thinking of, even though it was in the group but not that person, in retrospect, does it make sense that she would be the one to get through to me here on this show in particular?
absolutely, because
Why?
she's the most recent loss. And the D corresponds with that because one of the person that I was hoping might step through and have some sort of message, name began with D.
Okay. So even though it didn't get connected to the reading, D didn't connect with anybody, you can associate it right where it needs to be and you're going to take it as a hello. I love that. You have to. I think you have to.
Absolutely.
I think if I'm saying hawks to her and hawks means something to either one of you guys should take hawks too. I don't think just because it comes out from a medium to one person, it should be just for the one person. I'll take it too if I can. I don't really have a hawk thing, but are you okay? Because then I look at you and I'm like, are you okay?
I've never had a
No,
hawk thing.
that's what he says. I'm not normally a hawk, just
No.
today.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And the fact that your husband can back it up for you. You know, honey, what are they doing here? That's huge.
He said to me this morning, like, there's 4 hawks up there, and they just keep circling. There must be something dead on the ground. He said, I don't know where they're going. And then when I finally left the house and I was driving down the road, and boom, there was another one.
Yeah. Jennifer,
Yeah.
how are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay, cool.
You know,
Cool.
I'm processing everything, and it's such a gift to be able to have this experience, you know. And what you said about it being too fast, that's how it comes though.
Yeah.
You know, when the message comes through, you just speak it, because if you don't, for me it's gone after that. You just have to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's being recorded, that's something that's also a gift, because then you can remember, because it happens so quickly, and there's so many, it takes a lot to process, but
Yeah, I always tell people to record.
yeah.
I do. I always
record
suggest
is
it.
or have
really
someone take notes for you,
important.
because you can't take notes while it's happening, you know.
No, a
But
lot of people come in with pen and paper.
you
And you
can't.
can't. But I usually tell people to record. I always think it's very polite to ask the medium. There's a lot of mediums and psychics who don't want you to record.
Yeah.
I find that a little fishy. That's just between you and me. I think if you're not allowed to record, I would wonder why. Like, what is it that, you know, that I'm not supposed to record? So, but I have a lot of really good friends who are mediums who don't like themselves to be recorded. Oh, I just don't like my voice on or that. I still kind of wonder, but yeah, notes or recording I think is really, well, this is, you're gonna be able to go right
super
back
excited about
and I
that.
agree, this is gonna air, you guys, so we're gonna go right through with this. We're gonna fly with this. Is there anything that you would like to share about, you know, like we're going to have upcoming episodes. I'm going to be talking about a lot more about in-depth mediumship and how the communication comes through and this kind of a setting and this kind of environment. And I think I'm very blessed that all 3 of you got read, because in a short period of time, any intuitive trying to get that much in that fast too, like you were saying, comes in so fast. This was just divine and perfect. I couldn't thank you guys enough. Do you want to?
Thank you.
Anything?
Thank you.
Nothing? Just, something?
Mosquito.
Oh, we have little flies flying around. See, that's what happens when we have unedited TV. So whose loved one is coming through as a fly on the wall?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's what I would love. Imagine that, if you could be like Cross and be like, I literally am going to be a fly on the wall. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I think that we're going to bring this show to a close. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching Messages from Heaven. We're here at the CVC CT in Bolton, Connecticut, and we look forward to any questions, comments, and thank you to all of my guests. Have a wonderful fall season and take care. Thank you.